welcome back to the channel after a very long time. Now, what can I say? 2020 quarantine. We're in lockdown in the UK. If you're watching this abroad, you're probably in lockdown as well, judging by the news. So yeah, as you can see, I've got a little bit of a lockdown fade, which I've done myself with the girlfriend, and it's actually not too bad. But anyway, excuse the bonnet, I've just got out of the hot tub. But we are actually cracking on with the MX-5. Now, the only positive from this whole lockdown situation is I can get a bit done around the house, and on the MX-5 I can finally get this thing back on the road, because I haven't had the time when I've been working silly long hours. Got another couple of bits on the side which I've been working on. So the MX-5 has been on the back burner, but finally we're getting this thing back on the road. Now, I know I promised however many months ago in the video there'd be no more sanding videos, and I can confirm that with my trusty little new Bosch sander, little detail sander which I've got delivered in the post today, the sanding's done. What we're going to do is we're going to do the first coat of filler primer today, and we're going to do 3 or 4 build up heavy coats. Now there's going to be a few other bits which are going to need a little bit of filler, and for that we've got our Dolphin Glaze which I showed you in the previous video, but that will need hardly any sanding at all. The plan of that is to literally fill in pinholes, and then that will just have a little dust sound on top, and we'll be ready for the first coat of actual grey primer in this video at last. So I'm really happy, and it's been a hell of a long time. Without no further ado, what we're going to do is we're going to start cleaning this engine bay down for paint. Now, we're going to hoover it all up, and then we're going to go over it with some wipes. Now, you should always use paint preparation wipes before painting. What I'm going to do to get around this ever so slightly, because it's a lot to clean up that whole engine bay, so I'm going to use wet wipes, and then we'll go over all of that with the paint preparation wipes after, just to save them, and that will clean off any residue from this. So without no further ado, let's set the camera up on a time lapse and start preparing this engine bay for paint. I'm super stoked. As you've seen from the last clip, I've done 2 coats of filler primer. It's looking really good. Now I need to go ahead and clean the whole rest of it now, and there's going to be a little coat of Dolphin Glaze which I'm going to do later on this evening. But I'm going to jump out and put some food on the barbecue because I'm absolutely ravenous. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack on with this later on. I'll catch up with you in a couple of hours. Ladies and gents, we're back. We've had our barbecue, and these 2 first coats are dry, and it's looking really sharp. Bada bing, bada boom. Now what we've got to do is we've got to do this whole front section, and we're going to give all this another coat, and then when we come back tomorrow, we'll obviously move the wires and do around the other side of the wires, because as you can see there's a little red section in the back there. So anyway, once again, let's set it up on a time lapse, get to cleaning and painting. There we have it. We've painted the first part of the engine bay, filler primer. Now what we're going to do, we're going to leave this dry overnight and harden everything. And what we're going to do when we come back tomorrow is we're going to go over it with a Dolphin Glaze, like I mentioned earlier in the video, to fill over all of the pinholes and everything like that. All goes to plan. Within the next week, this is going to be painted, lacquered, and have the whole outside of the body back on, so I can pull it onto the driveway and have a look at it in natural light. And then it's a race to the finish line. I'm putting it back together, but I've got loads of stuff to do when I'm putting it back together. But yeah, stay tuned for that, 100%. Welcome back everybody, it's the next day. We're back on the MX-5. Now, as I promised in the early part of this video when I was chatting, I was going to wash my hair this morning. I haven't. We've gone in the hot tub again, it's gone mad. So, we have another crazy hairstyle. But anyway, back to the MX-5. As you can see, we've made a little bit of progress since last night. We did paint the whole engine bay. all in a filler primer. But now what we've actually gone ahead and done, as you can see here, is we've gone and put like really fine dolphin glaze on all of the bits which need it. So all the pinholes and little tiny bits and pieces. Now we're going to go ahead and sand this off and do the first coat of actual primer, and the painting is going to begin. So I bought this bad boy. It's a Bosch PSM 100A, and this was 30 quid off Amazon. And yeah, it actually is the absolute bollocks because it does the job. But you know, so much better than doing it by hand. I do have another electric sander. I think it's another Bosch one actually. Yeah, another Bosch one. Thing is with that one is it's old as anything. It's probably about 20 years old. It's a bit too big and clunky, so you can't get in all the small gaps. Whereas this is a lot more of a detail sander. I can kind of get in most of the nooks and crannies, and all the other little bits I can do by hand anyway. So without no further ado, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set you up on a time lapse, and we're going to crack on sanding down all this. Now, just a few key points to note. You want to be careful around all of these bits if you're smoothing it by yourself. I mean, you'll kind of live and learn as you go through it. I'm really, really happy with how this has really turned out. It's an absolute nightmare to do, but slow and steady wins the race. You know, maybe not 2 years if you're doing it yourself like me, but slow and steady usually wins the race. So without no further ado, I'm going to set you up on a time lapse. We're going to crack on sanding this engine bay. And there we have it, guys. The MX-5 engine bay is finally ready for paint. No more filler on this bad boy is needed. We're leaving the back section unsmooth. We smoothed only a couple of little bits. We're going to be utilising most of those holes anyway. So yeah, we're going to leave that there for the time being. If we do later down the line come with a couple of little holes and touch up the paint, then that'll be fine. But for the time being, that's how we're going to do it. It looks absolutely banging, trust me, in real life, and you're really going to see it once it's all painted and the engine bay's back together. You can see how amazing it looks. At the moment it still looks like there's loads of holes, but you'll get the picture when it's all back together. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased to see what this is going to look like. Right, we are now back ready for the first coat of grey primer. We're getting there, boys. Almost time for the paint reveal. So without no further ado, let's give this its first dust coat of grey primer. Now, how to do a dust coat, all you've got to do, go slightly further away than normal, and a very, very light coat, and it should almost look dusty on top of it when you're painting it on. So almost this yellow should almost, well, the coat of grey should be transparent, basically, or look like there's a layer of dust on the yellow paint. So I'll show you what that's going to look like in a minute. So without no further ado, let's prime the engine bay. And there we have it. The engine bay is primed and ready for the paint reveal. And on that note, you're going to have to wait till the next video because obviously I'm not stupid enough to reveal the paint colour in the same video. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to come down here, tomorrow is the next video. I'm going to wet sand all of this, give it a nice preparation and then primer it again. Then wet sand it all again and then it'll be ready for the coat of paint and the big colour reveal of what colour this engine bay is going to be. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I know it's been a while, but we're finally back. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.